So this is an American conservative politician, Protestant minister. Almost said protester, but he's also a lawyer. So like, just combine American conservative politician, minister, and lawyer, and you just have like this person right here.
I was trying to smile like him. It's really, how do you do it?
Dude, I fucking narrowed my eyes more and more.
You just have to imagine your congregation passing the collection plate, and then you taking all that money to the bank. And there you go. That's how you do it.
Tax it.
So, E.W. Jackson has an interesting take on, how do you say his name? Buttigieg? Or Buttigieg?
Buttigieg. That's how I say it anyway, but yeah, it's Buttigieg.
The Booty Judge. Yeah, he's got an interesting take on Buttigieg.
When he announced his campaign.
He's also a radio host, I think. So this is a clip from that. So I don't have a video, I just have the audio.
One of the things he did to, I guess, commemorate the announcement, Pete Buttigieg, or whatever it is.
Nobody knows how to fucking say it.
I know.
Here's the thing, like, if you're running for president, like, people have to be able to have some idea of how your name is enunciated.
And again, they have staff for that. There should be an intern somewhere just looking at people's names and it'll tell you before you say
Here's what they need to do, like, on the voting ballot, like, they should phonetically spell his fucking name at this point, because it's not working out.
Dude, as soon as I fucking saw his name, the first time I saw it, his fucking name was Buttigieg, I was like, he'll never be president. I'm sorry. Like, sir, you'll never be president. Change your last name. Maybe you'll have a fucking chance to something reasonable. No one's gonna... There's just... Buttigieg. I don't know what else to say, man. It's fucking hilarious.
I want to be ruled by Buttigieg. That sounds awesome.
Okay.
On stage, yes. Big ol'
booty.
Smack in the mouth.
So he's talking about Buttigieg and... He's talking about the booty judge and his significant other. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so E.W. Jackson has an interesting take on that, being a conservative minister and a politician and lawyer.
Oh yeah, because Buttigieg is gay.
Let me say this, because it is needed to release all those who want to say it but cannot.
Okay, so this is like the unpopular opinion. Like, this is kind of like that saying where it's like, you know, first they came for X, but I did not speak up, for I was not X. Then they came for Y, you know? It's like, nobody has the balls to say this. No one. Just E.W. Jackson. That's the one source you have for this information. So let's see what he has to say.
A normal man is disgusted by the idea of two men kissing each other in the mouth. President Barack Obama...
Apparently not, because gay marriage was legalized in this country.
Yeah, and even if that's the case, I mean, like, you know, your personal preference should not dictate what kind of policies you support. Those two things should be separate. Like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, if somebody came to me and they're like, you know, I enjoy smearing feces on myself, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting, but if you want to do that, that's whatever. I don't feel like you should be imprisoned for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, even if you feel like that repulsed by the idea of two men kissing, I mean, like, whatever, that's none of your fucking business anyway.
Right? I mean, I'm not really fond of watching it, but I don't have to. That's the thing. I can look away.
Some of these right-wing politicians like to think about men sticking their dicks in each other more than gay people, actually.
I just don't understand why people always feel the need to tell other people what they can do and can't do. I mean, it doesn't affect you at all if two other people are kissing. What does it have to do with you?
It often comes out of an insecurity, I feel like.
Well, how insecure do you have to be in your life?
Very, very. Like, usually what we see is, like, people who you know, methinks thou doth protest too much, like, those kind of people, they tend to be closeted homosexuals themselves. Yeah.
Not just that, but also you need to look at it like there's an entire career to be made out of it here in America. By being a right-wing politician who just basically, you know, does whatever the fucking lobbyist asks him to do. You vote in the way that you're supposed to vote. A lot of these people, they might express these ideas publicly, and perhaps they don't even believe them in private. But it's easy money for them to do so as a politician.
Yeah, I guess that's the point. It's so weird to me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's how it works here in America, though.
And it's funny because, like, a lot of these people are, like, staunchly, like, this is the land of the free, here you can be independent and be left to your own wishes. But it's like, at the same time, they oppose same-sex marriage even being legalized. Like, just allowing that to exist in the land of the free is just like, whoa, hey, we can't allow that.
That's a little bit too much freedom right there. Hold on, draw it back a bit.
Yeah, it's very interesting how many people think that like only what they want should be allowed. Only they should have their freedom, but everybody else doesn't matter.
Lit up the White House in rainbow color to celebrate the Supreme Court's abominable decision that declared same-sex marriage as the law of the land. He lit the White House up
that's
with
not
rainbow.
exactly what it means, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anything, that was just kind of like, we acknowledge this happening and we're fine with it. That was basically the message there.
Yeah, we acknowledge, gay couples as, like, being actual fucking couples, or
and the thing is, like, Obama is like a horrible example, if you're gonna make this point, because, I mean, like, he opposed same-sex marriage for the longest time while he was in office. But
He
then
did? I
eventually,
didn't even know that.
he did, and he was also, like, against legalizing marijuana, I think. But then, like, the wind blew the other way, and he's like, oh, I'm fine with it now. My mind has changed.
A lot changed
like,
in those 5 or 6 years, yeah.
I feel like Hillary would be, like, a better example, though. Because, she opposed it on the grounds that, like, the Bible says this, like, God, the creator of everything in existence, the most powerful being you can imagine, opposes this, therefore I do too. But then eventually...
But they separated state and religion a long time ago.
Yeah, not just that, but, like, the point I just want to make is, like, eventually she just kind of went back on that. So it's like, what is the reasoning behind that? Like, you think that the being, that the deity that created everything in existence opposes this thing, and yet, like, that's your basis for adopting that idea too, but then you change your mind. So, like, what does that imply? Like, you go against a deity you worship, or what?
So if he came out and was like, yeah, I'm pro-gay marriage, like, I'm sure he would have gotten a lot of supporters, a lot of people who really appreciated it. But there would have been so many people who would have it would have been, like, more ammo for the right wing to try and use against Obama. Like, oh, he's a minority. He's got the word Hussein in his name. He's a Muslim. He's all these things. Like, there's already people out there who think that Michelle Obama is a man and that Obama is, like, a gay or something like that. So there would just be more fucking bullshit like that. Oh yeah, the birthers and shit like that. There was so many conspiracies about Obama. You don't think that would have happened if he came out and was, like, pro-gay marriage back then? I get that it was a shitty political move to do. Like, maybe you should have done it earlier, like, out of morality, but as a political
but even
figure,
like, for the sake of argument, like, if you give them that, I mean, did anything happen? Like, even if we're gonna act like that's actually all accurate, I mean, like, did anything fucking...
I'm not saying it makes them right. I'm just trying to rationalize it by saying that that's just a politician.
Sure, I'm just, like, trying to put myself in their shoes and be like, okay, if I believe all of this insane fucking nonsense, and it's all true, then, I mean, like, what fucking difference does it make?
All right, so I want you to do exactly what you're doing now. Like, think about it, but do it while I'm giving you, like, wads of money.
Okay, I get it now.
Well, I mean, a lot of what they do is tactical too, right? So it seems like they change their opinion, but they just hold a certain opinion for a while until, whatever funds come through or a certain thing gets closed off. I don't know. A law gets passed. And then once that happens, whatever they've been waiting for, they're like, okay, now I can say, I actually believe this, And
I've believed this the whole time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about timing, really. It's all about timing and rewriting the past.
A lot of it is timing, and sometimes people actually do change their minds. Sometimes people learn. Not often. Especially politicians.
I'm not going to give this man that.
I feel like politicians have a learning curve.
Yeah, a declining learning
curve. Should go like that. I mean, people do live and learn. Sometimes they learn. I feel like people yell about people on the internet changing their opinions, and they get upset when people change their opinions. I actually feel like that's very human.
No, that makes you a fence-sitting centrist cuck.
I mean, I can see like where people are trying to criticize that sometimes if someone's like a real flip flopper, like constantly changing their opinions.
Right.
But like if you that there's a difference between that and a gradual progression of your beliefs. Just because there's an inconsistency in how you feel, like even say 6 months ago and how you feel now, or a year ago and how you feel now, that doesn't mean that you're disingenuous or anything. It just means that you can change your ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I hope somebody went in there after he was in there and purged that place of all that demonic mess that I think he just, that spirit, the spirits that he brought in there. If someone like Buttigieg were to get elected, I don't know about Christianity being destroyed, but I tell you what, we would be on the defensive.
Are you not by default on the defensive and offensive too?
Sorta.
Yeah. So what would change?
And I know that as much as these LGBT activists say that I want a theocracy, which I don't, because I don't want to punish them.
People always try to go under the idea that Christianity is the dominant force in this country on which it was founded upon, but they're also a persecuted minority these days.
These days, they've always been. Like, even back in the 80s, when they were like 95% of the US population. You know, they had like their own God's Not Dead movies back then, even.
Dude, you're forgetting the good old days back when, you know, when there were no laws here in America. None. Remember that? Totally.
Remember that?
Yeah. After we kicked out the British and it was just a libertarian paradise, man, what a golden.
But they separated religion from the law right from the beginning, didn't they?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I don't understand.
Not been respected.
No, it hasn't. I don't understand why it's still so influenced.
And the thing is, like, you know, a lot of these people are like, you know, oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, yay.
Rock on. A lot of these people proclaim themselves to be like, I'm staunchly for the Constitution and you know, the founding fathers. But then at the same time, I mean, like, they support, modifications of the Constitution and how things are run and established, but you know, kind of like how in the 50s, I think like 1952, when they inserted one nation under God, you know, into the pledge.
Yeah.
It's just
they inserted that later. It's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the separation of church and state. I mean, like, that was like a fundamental, basic value they wanted to establish because they knew that tides would change. People would adopt some kind of new superstitious belief.
Because people are super fanatic. Once they find something they like, they're just like, this is the real truth. Everybody has to believe in it.
They're able to get away with that shit because it doesn't specify which.
But I guarantee you they'd love to see you and me punished or put in jail. You know what?
No, I do not want to see you put in fucking jail.
I like to see punished.
Yeah, maybe verbally.
You know what? We don't want a theocracy, but I guarantee you, they want a homoocracy.
See, that's what I wanted to play on the show. Yeah. So, like, pro-LGBT, people who are just, like, basically, you know, whatever, it's fine, LGBT rights. They don't want a democracy. They want a homoocracy. Which, I mean, like, what basic values would a society like that even have?
Vote with your dick. That's what's gonna happen if fucking Buttigieg gets elected, dude. That's the America we're gonna be living in. A homocracy.
So it's gonna be America but gay.
Yeah, America, bless God. Just like that.
Dude, I bet your allies in the Middle East are gonna love that.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah. that realization, like, hey, wait a minute, you know what I just realized? Humanity is fucking fucked, dude. We're fucked. No getting back now. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh my god.
No.
I think I just had an existential crisis, but that's alright. That's Underhaven.
Get the fuck out my DMs, talking about Maryland, asking about heroin. I'm back on meth again, the perfect medicine for a Methodist kid. Sadistic sick shit to lift my limp dick. brand new breed of creature, the preacher of the doctrine, indoctrinating the nation of the brain dead. Having a brain in your head makes you hate it. You ain't hated, then you wasted. I hate to tell the truth, but I'm a cannibal. Though I don't need brains like that motherfucker Hannibal. I'm real fucked up, I like to torture my poon. Cut out their damn eyes with a grapefruit spoon. All you fake drug addicts, you're real bad at it. Your middle school life